Today we're going to be playing Blue Yellow Nami. Yes, you guys hated on my last deck list so much because it had the 7-drop Odin, and I'm tired of hearing it. So today I'm going to give you a finalized OP11 deck list that maybe you don't hate so much. Now, haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. I laugh cause you fake. While you mad cause
We know that. They hate on greatness. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
So like, subscribe, join the One Piece family, and I hope you enjoy this deck profile as always, because we're ready to play some Blue Yellow Nami. Blue Yellow Nami. And we're reporting live to tell you that that was really cringe. We have a leader effect that just says times one dawn. When your opponent attacks, you may discard one card from your hand and get plus 2,000 to your leader. So you become a strong 7k leader, and you're a great defensive option. We also have an effect that says when you or your opponent take a life card to your hand, to the trash, whatever may happen, if you have 7 or less cards in your hand, draw one card. Meaning we can play life burn, we can play cards that just add cards from our life to our hand and then replace them with other cards, like the 2-cost Hiyori, which can set everything up. And a card that I personally like to utilize is the 1-cost event named, I don't remember, I didn't write this down. Now, here is the actual name of the card, and it just bounces a 2-cost character back to your hand, which we play a lot of 2-cost characters in this deck, and then give plus 4,000 to a leader or character. Now, what is actually really vital about this card is that it can be used as a 2,000 power counter from our leader effect if we have too many, or it can be a 6k counter if we bounce a card like Hiyori or Zeus back to hand, so we get plus 4,000 and then plus an additional 2,000, meaning we can get out of a 10k attack with just those 2 cards, not counting our leader effect, any other counter we have, any other events. Like, this card I think is really underutilized. Am I saying I'm the best Blue Yellow Nami player? No. Am I saying this is the best deck out there for Blue Yellow Nami? Also no. What I'm saying is this is a fun list. Let's have some fun today and actually get into the deck profile. And here is our Blue Yellow Nami deck list. Now, I know this won't look like many other people's deck list. I know you're sitting there thinking, what are you cooking, Mr. Pow? Well, just wait. Just wait till we get into the games and decide for yourself. I mean, again, we could just go on a horrible time, but we also did a live stream last Friday and went undefeated for like 3 or 4 games, so I personally think this deck list ain't too bad. I'm just gonna say it. We have the Nojiko, which bounces a 5-cost back to our opponent's hand. Very strong to play. Just being able to bounce a card directly back to hand and make them replay that to waste their whole turn again. And in a deck that we can use this 1-cost event that I've been talking about so much, that I've really enjoyed, to return our Nojiko back to hand, to then bounce it again, and just continue to take our opponent off of curve. We can do it in the late game to go for lethal, bouncing a 5-cost blocker to our opponent's hand. We can do it in so many different situations. That's why I like Nojiko just that much. We have 2 of the puddings because pudding is blue and blue is very good, and this pudding card is very good and it's very blue. I really like this card, and you can always reuse it by bouncing it back to hand. Now, obviously, that's not what it's in there for. It's there just to return all of your opponent's cards to their hand and make them reshuffle and lose 10 cards, but hey, love this card or you hate this card, and it depends on if you have it in your hand or your opponent has it in theirs. We're running 2 of the Cavendish, which is just a draw 2, trash 1 filter. 4 of the Nami blocker, which is a 5/6. That's draw 3, trash 2, but that's on play. This Cavendish is when attacking, able to be used every single turn if we can keep it safe and protected. We're running 2 of the Shirahoshi blockers. This is just a great chump blocker, and it's always returnable to hand from our 1-cost event if needed, but most of the time, it's just a chump blocker in the deck. 4 of the Hiyori to set up our triggers in life, which we have a lot we can set up, which is a very strong thing. Obviously, we can use Hiyori to set up Nico Robin, which plays a 3-cost, which would just be Shirahoshi. Most of the time, you're not going to use this. Now, you could do it with Nojiko, bounce a 5-cost back to your opponent's hand. That's definitely a viable option, but again, not really going to happen often and not really something we're worried about with Hiyori. The big ones we're worried about with Hiyori is maybe a draw 2, place 2 cards on the top or bottom. It's not horrible, it's not great. The best are going to be Red Rock and Gravity Blade. Bottom deck, a 4-cost with Red Rock. Bottom deck, a 5-cost with Gravity Blade. Or our Soul Pocus, or our 0-cost event. We're just geared towards this Hiyori. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This card is just that strong. Soul Pocus, just saying, activate this card's main effect. Your opponent chooses 1, trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's life, or put 1 card from the top of your deck on the top of your life area. Meaning, in early game, usually your opponent just gives you the life back. It's a free draw 1 because we draw 1 for the Hiyori effect, and then when we use this trigger, we just get the life back perfectly. So we go equal in hand size using -1 and -1, and then +1 life and +1 card in hand from Hiyori. So Hiyori replaces herself and Soul Pocus replaces itself. Or you trash the top of your opponent's life and you get closer to finishing the game, and your opponent loses a life, going straight to their trash and never touching their hand. We have the zero cost event, which you know what this does. I mean, let's be real. If you play One Piece and you're watching deck profiles and you don't know what this does, you ain't really playing the game. This card is amazing to set up as your last life because you basically just don't lose the game. We have that with Yuri, always an option. We're running the Zeus just to rip a card from the top or bottom of our life and KO a 5-cost character. Amazing 2k counter in the deck. Now, we're only running 8 2k counters, but we have 4 of the 0-cost event as well as our leader effect, and we have a 4k counter in the deck profile. Running 3 or 4 of the Nico Robin to trash a opponent's life if they have 3 or more life. 4 of the Lin to basically do the same thing as Soul Pocus, but put a 7-8 body on the board. We got Eustace Captain Kidd, which just rests itself on play and trashes the top of your opponent's life. And then end of your turn, draw 1, trash 1 if your opponent has 2 or less life. And then finally, Slave Arrow. You may return one of your cost 2 or higher characters to the owner's hand, and then give up to one of your characters plus 4,000 during this battle, meaning we have Nojiko to return, being a 5k total if we want to use Nojiko's counter, or something like Hiyori or Zeus, or our Shirahoshi if it really comes down to it. We have 14 total targets for this leader effect, and we can always bounce other cards. I could bounce Eustace Captain Kidd, replay it, and just go from there, just mainly going for countering out a life and staying very safe. Now, I am very sold on this card, I'm not going to lie, but let's get into some games and see if I can sell you on it, if I'm a good salesman out here, or if this card really sucks and I'm just overhyping it. So, hey, I'm excited to see. You let me know down in the comments below, and let's get to some games on the sim. Blue, yellow, into Shanks here. We're going to choose to take second away from Shanks because second is just so freaking good for our opponent. We hit mulligan on accident. I meant to hit click keep that hand. I'm not going to lie. We already fumbled early. We're going to put one down on leader, so we do have our leader effect active if we want to, but I'm probably not going to. Our opponent's going into 3 Dawn here. Very good for them. Our opponent also likes to take life aggressively, so I think this part, Charlotte Pudding, could be pretty freaking good right here. I think they're just going to swing the big 8 into us, and we're going to take that, but the goal is to take aggressively. We're going to trash our opponent's life with Nico Robin. We're going to try to play as on curve as possible, and they do swing the big 8. We're not going to do any leader effects, not going to do anything like that. And Slave Arrow, I don't mind holding this for later in the game. I'm not going to lie to you. So we're going to choose no trigger. Now, what do we do back to our opponent? Now, we could obviously go Nico Robin, go ahead and burn a life. I mean, I'm set up for Nico Robin later and burn a life later. We could go Pudding and remove 1 card from our opponent's hand, but I don't think Pudding gets much value right here. With 8 cards in hand, how do we set up for next turn? That is our biggest issue, and that's going to be countering out of this next attack, but if they throw a 10k, we don't get any value. So I think we need to play a target in our opponent's hand. If we swing 6, our opponent's going to counter. So we might as well put a body on the board and then pass. I mean, I don't think it's the best play, don't get me wrong. That was not a very valuable card, but the reason we did that is genuinely just to set up for our leader effect in the following turns. Now, I know this seems crazy, but just trust me how this works, because we are trying to set up to get as much value out of our leader effect long game as possible. If not, we would go to 8 cards in hand. Our opponent would swing very aggressively. They could even swing 10 at us this turn, which would be 3 cards out of hand. We're not doing that. So I'm trying to get value out of our cards, basically. It's the same as swinging in for 6 and doesn't force them to take a life. Our opponent's going to swing in for 5 here. We'll give them one of our 1k counters because we are going to Nico Robin on this next turn. They're going to play a 5-cost Rush Luffy. Now this may switch up what we about to do. We are going to take this life aggressively, and then we are going to Zeus and KO this card, or we can swing in heavily. Now we're not getting value out of that Nico Robin we talked about. We can leave 1 Dawn active for our Slave Arrow. We can Zeus, and then let's go 7 and 7, force out a couple cards out of our opponent's hand. So we'll start with a 7 here into 6, see what our opponent decides to do. If they -1 and go 1k, they could just go straight 2k. We could have gone probably 8 and then Zeused and then not use the Pudding for anything. But I don't mind going down to 0 life here, basically. I don't mind it at all. Now, we could obviously Zeus, KO, or we could just swing another 7. It really depends. If we take the life, I feel like that's worse in this situation. But we will have the Slave Arrow active. We could just go straight up 8 into 6, force out a 2k counter. I'm not against doing that. Let's do it. Boom. 8 into Monkey D. Luffy. Let's see what happens here. I'm really playing in the late game here. I don't know if that's a good option against Shanks. Obviously, Shanks is a very aggressive deck. And now we should be able to counter out of their attacks, though, because they may play a Benneth Beckman, but that wouldn't get much value here. They should be playing a very Rush engine, it seems like. So we still have removal on deck. We have, we can get rid of some of their life as well. We can always drop Lin, we can drop Soul Pocus at this point because we haven't found a Hiyori. So I think if they swing into us with our leader effect, we're going to drop Soul Pocus. If they swing in a Pudding, we just let it get KO'd. I don't think we need it. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I really don't think so. Especially, I mean, again, if our opponent's playing a very aggro version, they could just drop a rush option like a 7k in the face. And I don't really like that. I don't really like that at all. They grab a Hongo, 2k counter. So we know they have 1 2k, only 5 cards in hand. Usually Shanks would have like 12 at this point, but they still have 5 life, so there's a long way to go here. There is a long way to go here. Our opponent's going to swing 8 into 4, and we're going to say, you got it? You can have that, for show, for show. Then they're going to play out that Hongo we were just talking about. So we could bounce the Hongo. Is that really worth it? Probably not. We're better off probably go in. Actually, we could set up for the Slave Arrow later, bounce the Hongo, swing 5 in the face. 5 in the face, obviously, get out for free for leader effect, but I don't think I mind that. We're not playing on a big body. We can get rid of Hongo on the next turn, going into 10 Dawn, so we can 7 Lin, 2 for Nojiko, and then pop. Okay, yeah. So we'll set up for that next turn. We're gonna go and trash the top of our opponent's life, get a brick out of their hand. Then we're gonna go in for a big ol' 7. So it's like if they want to remove this, they don't need the Hongo anyways for next turn, being a 6k body. Now that's why we didn't play 7 Lin, which would force out 1 card, but I'd rather guarantee trash the life right now than gain 1. We don't really need to be gaining life at this point in the game, so should be pretty safe here. Our opponent's up to 6 cards in hand. They play Ben Beckman, trash it, just like we kind of expected. Now they're going to swing in for 7 at face. They could also go 5 and 5, which would be very stupid in my personal opinion, because obviously we get out of that for free ski. For the free ski with just 1 card. We are going to drop the Soul Pocus this turn. Soul Pocus is very nice, but again, we have no value. We have no Hiyori here. It's going to get 1 card out of our hand, so when we play down 7 Lin, gives us some options here. So we're just going to drop that Soul Pocus, boom, and then we're going to give them a 2k counter here, and we should be good. Now, we could easily go Lin, could go Nico Robin again, but I think we go for a bigger body on the board. We could go Eustace Captain Kid, but they probably remove that just off their Rush Shanks on the next turn. So I think we're going to go 7 Lin, Nojiko, leave 1 up for Slave Arrow. So we can go and return the Hawkins to hand. We could also just go 7 in the face. I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting... We won't leave 1 up for Slave Arrow is the only issue. We could drop Nico Robin here. Nico Robin and Nojiko. And then go Lin next turn. I think they'll choose to give us a life here. Let's see what they decide to do and then go from there. I think that's going to be the best option here. I don't think we need to pop, like, bounce Hongo specifically, but it definitely wouldn't be bad, especially if they have no more Beckmans. They only had, like, let's say Rayleigh. They could have a 10-10 rush or KO Shanks, which would be kind of miserable. We get to draw a card now that they did take the life here. We could go straight removal now for it, but then we're taking a life, and it puts us in a very bad spot. Very, very bad spot. Back against the wall kind of situation. I think we're just going to bounce and then swing in for 6 at our opponent. Go ahead and have our leader effect active. I think that's going to be a lot more important right now than the Slave Arrow. It's only a 1k on the board. So we can just swing in for 6. They do counter out, which is really good for us into this next turn because we should get a little more control on the board. And we have a good amount of cards in hand and counter. So if they drop a 10-drop Shanks, we get out of 7. We only need to give them 2 cards, which would be at this point, 0 cost event and a 1k Nico Robin. So that gets us out, and then we take the 12 from the Rush Shanks, if they play the Rush Shanks down, or a Goldie Roger. We need to keep in mind, Goldie Roger is an option for our opponent. That is a strong, strong option. Now, this is a deck that's built around basically just playing really far into late game, which is obviously what Shanks does very well, just dropping 10 drop after 10 drop after 10 drop, and it's very annoying. They play down Lucky Roo. Ooh-wee, woo-wee. I don't like Lucky Roo, but it's just a blocker in this situation. They can pop our Nojiko, but we're not too worried about that. I think they should play and hide behind Lucky Roo. They could go with the 6-drop Shanks, making their leader into a 7k power at this point, because we do have an 8k Lin, which is something we maybe didn't value playing around enough here. So there's always that in the situation. They're going to go 7-8-8, so we're going to use our leader effect anyways. We're going to have to drop the 0 cost event just to get out of this attack. I think they should have swung heavier. I think they should have saved this 3 Dawn and gone 8 and 10, or 9 and 9, actually. Yeah, 9 and 9 would have been so much more valuable. That would be, that's the 1 card I would have given them anyways. Now they go 7 and 8. Now it's just 2, that's 3 cards total, which is going to be a Nico Robin and a Zeus. So, or just a Nico Robin and a take. They could just develop Hongo now, which is maybe what they're setting up for. Nope, looks like an 8. So we could just take this to have more counter for our board next turn. but we could kind of get behind if we do that. Do we get behind? This is a question we really need to think about. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we can take this, actually. I think we can take that. We need to put a Dawn on leader. We could drop this for 8, have one for this. So we could just go 6 and 8 into face. I don't think pressuring the board is gonna work at this point. We have a solid amount of counter. We can basically guarantee burn one of our opponent's life. So if they take this, it puts them in a very bad spot. We can then go 8 into the Beckman and force a card out. I'm trying not to maybe force out this Lucky Roo. I'm not too sure. I think they should just take this 8, in my personal opinion. If they block out, I mean, that's okay, but it puts us in a worse spot if they do. Now, we could just Nami if they do. If they pop the Nojiko, looks like they want to pop the Nojiko. Well, Slave Arrow is now dead to us. Imagine that. Imagine that. We're going to trash the top of our opponent's life and draw a card. 2 0-cost events is actually means this card is not dead to us. Let's get it. Draw 1, trash 1. Let's trash the Slave Arrow because we don't need it. We could have saved it, but I'd much rather have all of these 2Ks. So now we basically have 8, 9, 10K counter. If our opponent was to 10-drop Shanks on us, we're still safe. The goal here may be to leader effect this, maybe take the 7. That would be 2K, 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 1K. That's all I'm saying. Because that would be 2, and we have whatever life this is, so this could also be an option. So they could go 5 at face. Maybe we take? No, we don't take that. We counter the 5 with the Shirahoshi. They swing 7, we take, and then we try to bait out the 12K swing with the rush. Maybe 13 with the Goldie Roger. And then we go for lethal. Lethal is definitely an option I'm prepared for. Do you guys see the cat? Do you see this thing? Boop. I gotcha. All right. So our opponent is going to do possibly exactly that. We're going to drop the 2, 4. We need to get to 12. So plus 6. So that's 10. That gets us to 15 just from the cards we have. But I'd really like to keep a blocker just in case. I think we're going to drop the... We're going to drop the Shirahoshi here and then resolve it. So now they could go 7 into face. Again, we're kind of trying to bait that out. I'm not going to lie to you. We are kind of trying to bait that out. Because then we can go 11, 11, 11, and I think that just kind of gets the game. Could go 10, depending on what they leave in their hand and if they leader effect. Rush Dragon. Very interesting here. So they can go 9. Could go into board. But if we don't take this, they don't go into board, right? So we're going to take and bait them in. Well, if we counter this, it'd be 0. Then they go 11 into board. We have absolutely no cards in hand, but we have a life. But then we just lose. Either way, we lose on the clapback, right? So we take this, bait them into it. No matter what, we lose in the clapback. So we just go for staying alive. And a 2K. I think that's the best option there. Just to at least continue to keep our hand size. They have no more blockers. They have nothing in life. So we can go 11, 11. Yeah, it should just be GG's. We're going to start with 10. Into face. Unless they have some kind of crazy trigger, we should just have the game after that. We draw. We're going to swing. Well, we'll just go all out. Ain't no way. 17. Into face. It's guaranteed. GG's. Holy cow. They could have gone Rush Shanks. They could have gone Rayleigh. They could have gone KO Shanks. Wow. That was a close game. GG's to our opponent, and we're on to the next game. We did take down the Shanks after all. GG's. That's to all the blue-yellow Nami haters who are saying that that deck list sucks. I already know you're leaving it in the comments, but I won. I won the Shanks match. Now we're on to the next one. The best deck in format. Purple, black, Luffy. Our opponent obviously chooses to go first. We're going second. We're going to mulligan that hand. And I don't want anybody to sit here. I don't want to hear a single person say, oh, it's just because you're a fan. You're a Nami fan, aren't you? We could Hiyori into the Nico Robin. They're going to swing 6 in us. I think we're going to take it anyways. Hiyori into Nico Robin. We're not worried about Nico Robin in this matchup. I think we're going to go Cavendish, but then we have Shirahoshi for later. And then we go Cavendish, 6 Dawn. Nico Robin's okay, actually. Okay, we're not going to Hiyori. Maybe we Hiyori. Oh, we're going to Hiyori. Take the top life. That actually would have worked out. We're going to go Gravity Blade, draw a card, and then pass. So when they hit us this next turn, if they play their 3-cost character, we're going to bottom deck it. We're going to go ahead and bottom deck this Zoro they're about to play out and just remove it out of the game altogether. Because they're going to swing 7 at us. We're going to take, and boom, gone. That guy is gone. Take, use trigger, bottom deck. Now it saves us in a later turn from another aggressive attack. Now, we're just going to swing with 5 to our opponent. We could actually go Shirahoshi and then swing 7, but I'm more excited to get the Cavendish on the board and then have value to the Nico Robin on the next turn. Our opponent goes Adwandon is active. All right, do whatever you want. Cavendish, pass. Cavendish, pass. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 5,000. Well, we know they don't have another one of those, so should put us in a good spot there. We can easily leader effect and get out of this next attack depending on what they do. They're on 7 Dawn. Can we talk about how crazy this deck is? 7, Dawn -2. Now they can go 8 into Cavendish, and then 5 into Face. They could go 6 and 5. I'm okay countering out of this, I'm not going to lie to you. So we're going to go 1K with Nico Robin, because we won't be able to double Nico Robin. We don't have any additional counter at the moment, but this card will replace itself, basically, is the best way to put it. We're just going to go 5 at our opponent. We're going to draw 2, trash 1, and see if there's maybe a better option. We're going to get cards out of our opponent's hand. Now we go 6, draw 2, trash 1. Gravity Blade's not bad, but it's not really necessary at this point. We don't really have anything to set up. I think we're looking more for Red Rock. Now we could go for Soul Focus, but we get a lot more value getting a card on the board and drawing a new card from our leader effect. So I think we're going to go Nico Robin this turn. This is a hard matchup. I'm going to say it right now. No one sit here and be like, oh, you got an easy matchup. They took the 6. They took the freaking 6. Well, guess what? Good thing we kept the Soul Focus. You tell me. You tell me. And they give me a life. Of course you do. And then we're just going to, I think we're going to pass, because now we can bounce the Hiyori back to hand and go from there. Maybe setting up a different thing in life later on, possibly, maybe. I don't really know. I don't really know what to do. Well, we have 2 of the 8-drop kids we're definitely going to be using for a very long time. Now they're going to go probably 8 into Cavendish here, and we may save it. We may not. They're going to go 8 into Cavendish. We could save that. I'm not going to lie. Give up to one of your leaders or characters. We just get so much value out of Cavendish, and it's another swing on the board. We're going to do this anyways, so we might as well. But we let that go, and we only have to use 1 Slave Arrow. I think we let Cavendish go at this point. Now they're going to swing 8 at us. My goal is to hope that they swing 8, not 9. They do swing 9 here. So we could just take. We are going on to 8 total Dawn. But then we won't have our leader effect next turn if we 8-drop Kid. So I think we're actually going to have to counter out of this. Bounce Hiyori +4, and then we'll give them a Nojiko. Ooh, this is tough. This is very tough. That card is just so freaking broken. That card is so broken. Draw 1. We're going to trash 1. This card is busted, bro. Because now they could go 7, 7, 6, 12. Or they can just play a Rush Luffy. That's pretty freaking good. My god, dude. This card is broken. Mixed with Gum Gum Giant, where it's basically an unremovable body off the board. Like, it's actually crazy. Our opponent's going to go 7, 8. Oh my gosh. Not using the leader effect was really greedy there. We should have probably countered that one, but at this point, man, we are in a tough spot no matter what. So 7. Yep, another 7. We're going to give them one of the kids. And then they could go another 7. We're going to go Nojiko. And then they're going to go 11 into Kid. We're going to counter everything. Watch how crazy we are. I countered everything they had to give us. Now, we're going to trash one of our opponent's life, use the card action, and we're just going to swing in. 7, and then 9. Force a couple cards out. This is literally the way to win this matchup. Now, if they start to block her up on this next turn, puts us in a worse spot, but hey, it is what it is. They're going to Gum Gum Giant here, more than likely. Yep, just a simple old Gum Gum Giant. We know how that card's all right. You know, it's just okay. We're going to draw 1, trash 1, draw 1, trash 1. This at least gives us a little utility option on the next turn. We're in a very bad spot, though. Our opponent can be very safe. They're going on to 9 Dawn because they Gum Gum Giant and -2'd and did -1 for the Monkey D. Luffy. So it put them out of staying alive territory. I do like this card so freaking much. Do you guys think this deck's good? I think this deck's pretty good. Take. 10K? Oh, they can't 10K on us at least. We're just going to take. We're in that spot where we're just stuck taking. So I might try to... Maybe we try to bait them in. The issue here is... Ooh. Ow, Chihuahua. Well, now we have to leader effect. They get their Dawn back or whatever. This guy's going to get Rush. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So they're going to go 8, 8, 10. 8, 8, 8, 10, 10. Oh my goodness. Oh my gravy. Well, we need double 2Ks and something to draw us additional cards. And so we need to get 4 2Ks out of life here. What are the odds? It's not possible. But if it were to be possible, we'd be in a very good spot. 7, we'll take. We're trying to bait him in. Going for lethal here. He's going to go 8. We're going to... So 0 cost event gets me out of this. We just need a 1K counter, right? I'm trying to do the math here. If we counter that last one, then he would just swing 7 and then 11, which would be guaranteed lethal, unless it's a 0 cost event. I don't think we get out of this. Actually, no, there's no way. There ain't no way, because this is a 10K. I'm thinking that our leader was a little stronger. GG's, that was still a close match, nonetheless. They could have obviously gone 10 drop there if they didn't lose all their Dawn. That was a tough match altogether. This deck is kind of crazy. This new Luffy is insane. If you want to see us cover this leader, we can do it very soon if you leave a comment and let me know down below. Look, we lost that last match because I got greedy, not because that deck's any freaking good. Let's take on Bonney. We haven't played Bonney in how long? Like, it's been probably 74 years. We're going to mulligan that hand. Not going to start with that. Ooh, Shirahoshi is so bad in this match, but Hiyori is not. Our opponent is not bad to filter through the deck. Use card action, take the top life, and we're going to put a red rock, draw a card, and pass. So it gets us one card deeper to maybe find something to do on the next turn. Possibly, maybe, possibly, but probably not. You know how it is. You know how it is out here going against a Jewelry Bonney. I don't have a 2K. This sucks. I don't want to use that trigger just yet. That would be miserable. That would actually be horrible. This deck sucks into Bonney. I can already feel it. I feel the pain that's already in my chest, dude. This is bad. This is pretty bad. Brutal. I would say brutal. They draw a Basil Hawkins. Bonney's playing Basil Hawkins again. Weird. We're gonna go 5 in the face. Should have gone 7 in the face, but our opponent's gonna take either way. Watch. Boom. Take. You're at 5 life, bro. Just draw one more card. Just draw one more card. We're gonna draw another card as well. We're gonna go Shirahoshi, pass. Shirahoshis are not great against this leader at all, but it is what it is. Our opponent put us in the spot to do this and the things and the stuff, so we'll take what we get. And we're not gonna pitch a fit. We're hoping our opponent plays a Yarouge here and they hit us in the face. More than likely they will not, but we have that as an option. I would love to get this Hiyori back to hand to Soul Focus and set that up. It would have been nice. Maybe setting up the Shirahoshi earlier, doing something like that. But it's hard to do against Bonney. That's just who Bonney is. They're going to go 5 at us. They know we really don't want to take our life for some reason. So we're going to take and just choose no trigger. It would have been nice. I got greedy early. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I could have just hit no trigger and been fine. But, you know, when something like this hits the board, you kind of really want to just go ahead and get rid of it. So it was smart of us to just go ahead and take. We're going to swing. It sucks. I don't want to swing at all. I'm just going to get rid of this. And then obviously we could have just developed more board or something like that, but we don't have a Gravity Blade. And I am not sitting around seeing if that thing is going to work or not. Now they can Kid Killer into Shirahoshi, still swing 5 at us. Do I even want to swing then at that point? Because then they're just going to get more value out of it, because they can just take or counter. I think they'd probably even take. I think I'm just going to pass here. I think I'm going to choose not to swing. You have to let me know down below if that's the right choice or not. Bonney is just such a tough matchup. You have to be very technical savvy in this game to go against Bonney and win, because they have an amazing late game. They have amazing, you know, setup. Their leader effect is busted. The card we just bottom decked is insane. The 7/5/7 Banish card that also restands a Dawn, broken. They're going to swing 5 at us. We're going to go ahead and take this attack. 7 Lin. I ain't mad about no 7 Lin. Cavendish, pretty good card right there. Tashigi, pretty good card right there. We're just going to swing in for... We are going to finally swing in. Just sucks swinging in, man. I don't want to. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to. Like, not one bit. I really wish I just had a Gravity Blade or something to remove Tashigi and a Gravity Blade. We're going to go ahead and start swinging in. I think we're going to give up on these Shirahoshis. I think I'm just too all over the place. Obviously, they're going to rest one of the Shirahoshis. It is what it is. We just lose it. Nothing you can do about it. And then our opponent's probably going to give us another life. I would probably take this one. But you are going against a blue deck, so maybe you counter out a little aggressive. We're going to draw a card. Putting is an option here. I'm not going to lie. I could also just red rock this Tashigi now, and then Gravity Blade next turn to move 2 bodies. But how unvalued is that? But this card is just so freaking good. I really just need to find a Nojiko. I'm not going to lie. Let's go 7 Lin. Let's just be greedy. Let's just call it what it is today. Let's just be who we are. We're here to have fun. We're not here to be the best player that you've ever seen in your whole life entirely. We're here to have some freaking fun, man. We're here to have some freaking fun, man. We're here for a good time, not a long time. You know, all right, now we pass. We don't have a ton of counter. That does suck, but we do have our leader effect active. We have a Soul Focus. We have another 7 Lin to put down on the board. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to let that go. That was what I didn't want earlier, but I could have had one more swing into our opponent there. Kind of sucks. Kind of freaking sucks, man. They could go 8-drop Kid. That would be really annoying. We would need to get this Tashigi off the board ASAP, and then red rock the card, but yeah, it's not like they can't just play another Tashigi. I hate this game. This card will be removed from play from your opponent's effect. You may instead rest one of your opponent's characters. Hey, that's pretty good. We're gonna drop a blocker. We should be safe there. Now they can swing in. I mean, they can do whatever they want, really. Could go 7 and 7. I would love that. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. That would not be break brain. But Junior, you're still sitting behind me. What are we doing back there? Is he still hiding back there? Pudding's pretty good in this matchup. Oh, hi. Look at her, everybody. What do they do? Oh, 9. Yeah, we just gonna take that. Oh, ooh. Nojiko for 2. Gravity Blade for 7. Leaving us 1 Dawn active for our leader. That's all I'm saying. We say screw the pudding. If this card were to be removed from play, you may, by your opponent's effect, you may instead rest one of your opponent's characters. Bro, watch this. I'm about to show you the biggest freaking brain you've ever seen in your life. Are we gonna lose this Shirahoshi? Hell yeah. Are we gonna be mad about it? A little bit, but it is what it is. This is just how we work. I want you to know that right now. This is just how we work. Because this card says you may instead rest one of your opponent's characters. The strongest effect being that it says rest one of your opponent's characters. Well, if there's no character to rest, the rest is up in history. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. We're gonna swing 8. They're trying to decide if they want to rest our leader or a Shirahoshi blocker. Joke's on them. We're gonna rest our own Shirahoshi blocker. This card was a bait the whole time. Because what they could just do is take this life and then see like, oh, if they're gonna drop a bunch of cards on their leader, like, what do I care? Like, you know, if they're gonna go big in life, they think I'm just trying to. Oh, dude, they're big brained right now. We just big brained the shit out of these guys. This person, I'm sorry, but you are cooked. And they finally choose to rest down our leader. As you can see up here in the timer, it has been 2.5 minutes of us just standing here waiting, and we're totally okay with this. All right. So what we're gonna do now, 0 into face, and they're gonna be like, "What are they doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing?" Well, let me show you. Let me show you. We're gonna go another 0 into face. They did do the right choice by resting our leader, by the way. We're going to Nojiko, bounce to Shigi, then we're gonna Gravity Blade, both of these cards. Our opponent's not gonna have an option to rest, so it's gonna. What? Oh my gosh, dude, we fumbled. I forgot Nojiko is a character. Nojiko, we played out Nojiko first. There wasn't a way to rest the Nojiko. No! No! I feel so stupid, man. We should have been able to just get rid of that thing. Should have just been like, up and out of here, but we didn't. But our opponent has like 50 cards in hand, so I'm hoping they just drop like a 10-drop Dofi, freeze all our stuff, and hit us in the face. Well, do they even play 10-drop Dofi? They're gonna 9-drop Shanks. Calling it right now, 9-drop Shanks, and then we just feel miserable. But we're gonna take every card from their hand and ruin their day. Ugh! How am I such a good player and such a freaking bad player out here in the streets, guys? I just don't get it. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna go and swing in for 4 and 5. I think we're gonna do that. We could go Soul Pocus here, actually. I'm not against Soul Pocus. So we're just going to. I don't even think we're gonna swing. They're just gonna block out of it for free, right? So pudding. That feels pretty good. And then our opponent just quits the game. Tell me what you want to do. You want to take a life? You want to give me a life? Your choice, friend. Your choice, my friendo. We're going to put 1 down on our leader and pass. There's no reason to swing. He gets a free block out of it. But we did take 5 cards out of their hand, which feels pretty good. Well, 4, I think it was total. But putting in work. Are we stupid for not getting rid of the Hawkins? Yes. Are we the smartest people you've ever seen? No. We're going to take this attack very aggressively here. Our opponent could go 7, and then they could go 9, 7, 9, 9. Swinging in with 7 here. How are we feeling about that, chat? How are we feeling about that? 8-drop kid? Maybe? No, not 8-drop kid. Bonney is such an annoying deck. Can we just talk about this deck? This deck's just so freaking obnoxious, man. We're gonna drop Soul Pocus. We're gonna drop this Soul Pocus there. We still have Red Rock for Shanks. That should be solid. Not the best, but not the worst. The issue with them having a blocker and their leader effect active and having this kid killer, I mean, they can use all 10 Dawn and still have a leader effect. Ugh. Well, we have Red Rock. At least we have Red Rock. Thankfully so. Also, they could have swung in for 6 because, I mean, technically, like all the technicalities, yeah. Well, we were going to Red Rock the Shanks here, but hey, that was just a theory. Red Rocket, get it out of here. Get out of here. And now we're just going to go really big number in the face. Boom. They could just block out of this for free, rest our pudding, but there's not really anything else for us to develop. The Nojiko's not worth it right now. Like, removing the pudding's going to be okay if they swing into it next turn. We're just going to let that go. Don't really need the pudding. We can go 7 Lin, gain a life, still continuing to play into the late game. I would probably block this. It depends on what they're trying to do next turn, though. If they have a few cards to play out, then I would probably just take or I mean block. They're playing out one card. I mean, it's really up to them. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm kind of pissed, dude. I'm kind of pissed about that. I'm still mad about that Hawkins play. I'm so mad about that Hawkins play. I had 3 minutes to think about that play. I was just pissed that they were taking so long. So I was like, dude, come on. Like, it's a little bit of a pet peeve where it's like 3 minutes to think if you're going to use your leader effect or what you're going to do it on. Like, the choice is pretty easy. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to get rid of Shirahoshi blocker, but it don't do too much. It don't be doing too much. Man, I'm so mad. If they play another 8-drop kid, I'm also going to be mad, though. So it doesn't really matter at this point. Don't really matter. If we do a 7-lin, they're just going to take their own life. Let it go to the trash. We should just be cooked at that point. Another Hawkins? Are we serious out here? Are we being for realsies? Is this how we're playing this game? Our opponent's going to swing in for 7 at pudding. No, they don't even swing pudding. They just leave it on active for leader effect. You don't even worry about pudding at this point. Now you're just going to use the kid killer. They're going to swing 9 at face. Yeah, and we're going to have to get out of that, it feels like. Trash, 2K, 1K. I think that's the best option there. Depending on the situation. We're going to swing 7 at our opponent. Bruh, are we serious right now? I mean, it was smart. This is the way you play. They're doing great. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. They're doing great here. We're going to swing 7 at our opponent. We're going to go 7 for Lin. They should just block. They pop this, get their leader effect, rest the pudding. Yeah, whatever. We knew that was going to happen. They're just going to block in 1K here. They are just going to block in 1K. There's no reason not to. Or that works too. We're going to tap 7, and our opponent's going to probably, depends on what they have in hand, I guess. They can triple block her up. You just take the life at this point, I think. I don't think you let us, yeah. Smart. All right. Well, what do we do here? 11 and then 17. There's no possible way out of this. So we just take, and our opponent's going to swing in for 17 at us. It almost feels like there's a way as well. That's the worst part. It almost feels like there's a way. So now we're going to use card action, tap 1, bounce Hiyori, +4, 2, 2, 2, 1. We get out of that, but we can't get out of the other 7. We needed 1K counter more, and we would have probably, possibly, maybe won that game. Because they have no active Dawn. They do have 4 cards, so we actually there'd be no way to win, even with that. GG's to our opponent. That was still a close match. That's crazy. I hate pudding. I mean, I hate Bonney. The misplay with the Hawkins is just what tilts me. We're going to play one more game because of that misplay. Legitimately, you know we always do 3 games, but today we're knocking out a 4th because I'm an idiot. Purple Katakuri. I think we're going to take first away from this Joker. And we're going to keep this hand. Holy cow, we got my favorite setup in the game. Ain't that right, Tizzy Buddy? We're going to go one down on leader. Best. Doesn't do anything because our opponent can't attack us, but in case it were. Guys, I'm not saying this deck's good, by the way. I know there's going to be so many people who are going to be like, oh, this deck does suck. We were right. Man, shut up. Shut up, bruh. We would have soul focused for free. We were ready to soul focus for free, and we took it away from ourselves. Imagine that. Imagine we took it away from ourselves. That hurts. Well, actually, I mean, we can take this life, soul focus. Next turn, Hiyori into soul focus, and swing 8. It's an option for sure. I would love to see something just to bounce or KO this pudding or something. That would be nice, but hey, not going to do it. We're going to go no leader effect. We're going to take, use the trigger. Now our opponent chooses to take the life, because that's what they do, right? Take it. You have 7 cards in hand. You're pretty safe. We have 3 life. You have 4. You don't want to go even with us. I would love for them to take it, but of course they choose not to because they are jerks. We're going to do the same thing again. Take the top life. We're going to add this. We're going to draw. And then we're going to go 7 at your face. So now we have our pudding set up for next turn because our opponent does have 7, possibly 8 cards if they choose to take this. When they do, I'm telling you, man, this is the list. Now, have we played perfectly? No. But have we had fun? Yes, and that's all that really matters. And yeah, basically that was my thought there. We're going to leader effect and just discard a Thero cost. We don't have to bounce back anything right now. We're going to do 0 cost. Now they can hit us 6, -1. Don't do nothing. They could have gone 7 and forced an extra card out, which would have actually been kind of smart. But hey, our opponent didn't do that. I told you they're not the bright. They are not the bright here. We are the bright. They discard. Yep, Nojiko. Ooh, Nojiko. Oh, we are in such a good spot here. Holy cow. Watch this. 2. Bounce. 6. Pudding. 5. We're going to leave the 1 Dawn up. Get out of the next attack for free, basically. And then feel pretty good about it. They shouldn't counter. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, Tizzy, buddy, we are in such a good spot. We have outplayed our opponent to the fullest, and you need to stop biting me. So you're gonna get put on the ground in a minute if you keep biting. If you keep biting, Daddy gonna get angry. Ow, ow, you jerk. Hey, whoa, hey. Okay, they play We're Gonna Claim the One Piece. Look at this at 5, grab an Animal Kingdom or Big Pirates type, which should be a big pirate right here. A pretty big one at the least, at the very least. We're going into 9 Dawn, dude. We've controlled the board. We've taken 0 life. That they get the Parasparrow they've been looking for, but hey, they ain't gonna have it for long. Now they can go the 5, force out our leader effect now, and then hit us for the life, which is gonna be, ooh, we actually don't have counter for this because we don't have a leader effect. So they're only going 7 after this. We could just use the trigger. Bro, I'm telling you, that card is so freaking good. That card is so freaking good. Underrated for sure. They're gonna go 7 at us and leave 1 Dawn active. Interessante. Interessante indeed. Well, we're going to tap 1. We're going to bounce. Could bounce Nojiko, but they're not really worried about ramping after this, but that's gonna be a brick in hand. And then we can develop a body. Yeah, I think we go Nojiko, because now we can go 9 Dawn. We go 7 Lin and bounce Nojiko, or bounce Parasparrow. I kind of like that play. Kind of like that play a lot. Because we could have gone Gravity Blade, bottom deck Parasparrow with Hiyori, which wouldn't be bad either, but they could get value by, you know, swinging in with this first. They discard the Lin. Oh, we're getting another Nojiko. Well, that friggin' sucks. Should have revealed that earlier, my friend. You would have really helped me out. You would have really helped me out there, buddy. I guess we just go 4 into pudding, see what they do. Pudding into pudding. A little pudding on pudding action. We're going to be putting it down right now. They counter. Okay. Now, Tiz. Let's go a little 5 on 4 action, see what they decide to do. They know we can bounce the Parasparrow. They know we can bounce the pudding. I mean, if they really want to save this, they can keep it. I'm not worried about them keeping this card. We're going to just bounce the Parasparrow and play down a 7 Lin. Now, our opponent's going to choose to give us another life. Another freaking life. We're not worried about, you know, we can take these next 2 attacks. We're at 5 life. It's like we only took 1 this whole game. Like, we don't need our leader effect right now. We still have Gravity Blade as an option to get rid of their cards. Come here, Bubby. Come back over here, you sweet little thing. Just stop biting me, okay? That's all we ask for. Just stop biting me. You like cats in One Piece. This is the channel for you, baby. Hey, don't bite me. Don't bite me that much. So we're gonna go 7, 8, and we're just gonna take and take. It's gonna refill our hand. We're gonna be very ahead here, and we have another Nojiko. We have the other Nojiko. We just returned 1 to hand, and then we just bounced 1. So they're gonna go 7. That's fine. That is fine. We're gonna take the 7 here. We're gonna take 7 and 7. Could even Gravity Blade. They're gonna discard a card, reveal the top. It's gonna be a 7 Lin. Oh, we could 7 Lin here and Nojiko and swing 6. Oh man, dude, I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. They get filtered the hand a little bit. That's good. Hey, okay. Well, 4 into 4. Are they gonna finally let this go? Are you gonna let this go? No. We're gonna go 6 into 4. Are you gonna let this go? Yeah. Now we go Nojiko Lin, because we can Nojiko again. We're gonna go 8 in the face. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, obviously we could just Gravity Blade, take out both these cards, but like we just keep bouncing it and he keeps doing it. So like, it's kind of worth it to just Nojiko again, force him to play it down again, and then force our opponent to decide to give us another life and then pass. It's like they are down to 2 life, 1 card on board, and 5 cards in hand. We have 6 life, 5 cards on board, 4 life. Like, this is a beautiful, beautiful combo wombo we're going through right now. And it's feeling good. The double Soul Focus was crazy. Not taking any life, basically. The Lin-Lins are insane. People like the 6-drop Lin-Lin in here, but you have to discard a card every single time. I don't care for that. We have not seen a Red Rock, I will say. They're going to go 7 to our board, finally. We're going to let that go. That's fine. They finally decided to hit some board. I'm happy they figured out how to play how they should be. We're going to go ahead and burn a life from our opponent. Use card action, draw a card. I'm going to feel pretty good about that. We're going to draw 1, trash 1 every single turn. We're going to hit them for 7 at face, and then 8 and 8. They could go blocker here, but then I'm going to go 8 and 8 and force out this blocker and 1 card out of hand. Because I don't really, well, actually, they have no life. So this is going to force out this blocker either way, and possibly 2 cards out of hand. Or they just take, which they could just take, but it's putting them a lot more on a clock than anything. I forgot they were at 1 life. I forgot they were at 1 life, yeah. We know they have 1 brick with the Parasparrow, but we don't know the other 3 cards. So we should be in a pretty good spot. I'm not going to lie, we got a bunch of blockers. They go Dawn -1 and then 2K 1K. So 2K 10 siblings and an Usohachi 2K 2K. Draw 1 and then trash 1. So they won't know the top of our life. We're going to drop the 6-drop Nico Robin. Not really necessary at this point in the game. We have a ton of blockers. We still have 4 life. We have a full board. We have enough counter. It's not a ton of counter, but we have 6k counter total. Our opponent could know our whole hand size, and I don't think there's a way we really lose. They could... Oh, dude, if they double Katakuri... No, there's a Paraspero as the last card. Okay, that's fine. I mean, what are you going to do with all these blockers and no cards in hand, you know? It's like, I know that's a brick. You can swing 10 into that. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to go 10. We're going to let that go. And then we're going to save the other one. Because it should be another... What? They could go 12, I guess. And even then, like, we're safe. We know exactly what this is. So it looks like 11 is gonna 2, 1, 1. We're going to save it for sure. Because that's going to put a lot of pressure on our opponent. They're going to be restand, but... I mean, really, I think it's just guaranteed at this point, like, not to lose. Because we just dropped this. Burn their last life. We're going to go 7 into face. Oh, yeah, this is GG's. Boom. Draw. Now, we know this is a brick, so we just go 8 into face. They're going to have to block here and give us one of the blockers. We're going to go, oh, yeah, what are you going to do now? All right, 9 into face. Now they're going to have to give us the other blocker. And then we're going to go 7 into face. If this was a 2K, they'd be safe, but we know it's a Paraspero. GG's to our opponent. Sorry for the cat attacking me down here. That was our blue Nami. And this was not the perfect showing. I mean, we went 2 for 2 today, but it is what it is. I think this is a lot of fun to play. I think you can see the excitement in this deck, the enjoyability, and it's Nami. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I don't simp over Nami. I'm not a Nami fiend. I'm actually Nico Robin all the way, baby. Best girl in the whole anime. That's a different conversation for a different episode on the Mr. Proud channel. And if that's one you want, you let me know. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed Blue Yellow Nami. I think this deck list is really fun. It catches people by surprise, and I think you should tech a few different cards in and maybe switch up the ratios. So let me know your thoughts on the deck list in the comments down below. Join the One Piece family by hitting the subscribe button and joining the Discord down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.